Do you rest your wrist on the edge of your desk or wrist rest when you're typing? If you do, you are at serious risk of giving yourself repetitive strain injury. Hello, I'm Deborah Quilter, and I've written 2 books on repetitive strain injury. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning because you subscribed to my channel and you got a notice, welcome back. I'm really glad you're here for this episode because this is information you really need to know about RSI. So here's why resting your wrist is such a bad idea. It leads to 2 of the leading improper typing techniques: dorsiflexion, that's like when you're pushing a door open, and ulnar deviation, when you're bending your wrist toward the little finger. This happens when you're twisting your hand sideways with the pinky finger in order to reach important keys like Enter, Delete, and Backspace. The same thing applies to the mouse. People make all kinds of risky repetitive movements trying to get their cursor in the right place using the mouse. Plus, the mouse puts the hand in dorsiflexion, and you're using one hand and 1 or 2 digits to make hundreds of thousands of clicks. This adds up to a lot of strain. Resting your wrists while you type or mouse leads to both injurious habits of dorsiflexion and ulnar deviation. And it can lead to ailments such as tennis elbow, carpal tunnel syndrome, cubital tunnel syndrome, and different forms of tendonitis and forearm pain. All of these injuries can be painful and disabling eventually. Repetitive strain injury is a cumulative trauma disorder. That means it doesn't happen overnight, but day after day, keystroke and click after keystroke and click. And the damage to the soft tissue, such as scarring and nerve damage, doesn't lead to pain until the injury is well underway, so you may not be aware of the harm you are doing to your hand and arm until it becomes painful, and then it's chronic. Here are some of the warning signs of RSI that you should look out for: fatigue, lack of endurance, weakness in the hands and arms, numbness, tingling or loss of sensation, a feeling that your hand fell asleep, so you shake your hands to wake them up, a feeling of heaviness, clumsiness, tremors, cold hands, difficulty opening and closing your hands, stiffness, difficulty buttoning buttons or putting on jewelry, frequent self-massage, and avoiding using your bad hand. By the time you're in outright pain, which can be searing, electrical, dull, or achy, RSI is chronic. The warning signs of RSI can be subtle, but they are indicative of serious problems. Pain is usually the last thing to come, and once you are in pain, you are likely going to be dealing with a chronic issue. Chronic means your whole life. And remember, some people with repetitive strain injury don't have outright pain, but rather extreme weakness, clumsiness, or involuntary movements, such as tremors. So, don't rest your wrists as you're typing. Instead, let your hands float over the keys. But to do this, you need a keyboard tray so that you're not straining your neck and shoulders holding your hands out to reach the keyboard because it's too high. And you can prove this to yourself. If you place one hand on your neck while you do this, you will feel how much muscle activation it takes to hold your arm poised in front of you. That's static loading, which is another risk factor for repetitive strain injury. Keyboard trays are not commonly used, but they should be mandatory if people are using computer keyboards so that they can protect their neck and shoulders. There are many other habits that people have when they're using their keyboards that can affect the thumb, wrist, forearms, elbows, neck, and shoulders. When I'm doing ergonomic consultations, I spend hours with clients analyzing their keyboard habits and teaching them proper typing technique. This can be very helpful in preventing certain injuries, but you're still risking injury just by keeping your elbows bent and your palms down, because that twists the nerves and tendons, causing a lot of strain and injury. Still, it's worth it to improve your typing technique because most people need to use the keyboard at least a little bit, and poor technique can add up to a big injury over time. You can avoid a lot of problems by dictating as much as possible. And although learning proper technique takes time and practice, it also helps protect you for when you have to use the keyboard. But you still need to take frequent breaks and sit in good posture to prevent repetitive strain injury. So for more important information about repetitive strain injury, be sure to watch the video that's coming up next or linked in the details below. And please share this video with anyone you see resting their wrist on their desk while they're typing. We don't want them to get RSI. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comments below.